Hey, everybody, welcome to Pep Talk, the podcast where we give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. Hope you're having an amazing day today. We're about to take some complex, crazy, interesting information in the health and wellness world, take it and break it down into small, simple, digestible, usable tidbits so that we can give you the map, the keys, and the car to help yourself actually with some action steps, improving the health of your family, your life, and those in your community. Hey, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. I'm your host of today's Pep Talk journey. We're going to talk about a very interesting conversation that we've actually had here on Pep Talk before. How many of you have heard about antibiotic resistant bacteria? We're seeing more and more and more of that in the news. I'm literally looking at articles right now that are saying that tens of thousands of people are dying a year in the US alone from antibiotic resistant bacteria. Literally hundreds of thousands of people are dying annually because of that. And the new latest science is telling us that the answer to this is in our microbiome. Folks, you guys know that even Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, first fix the gut and all other things will fall into place. If the gut bacteria is right, you have a better chance of having a healthy brain. If the gut bacteria is right, you have a better chance of having proper digestion and metabolism. If your gut bacteria is right, your hormones are going to be better. Your pain's going to be less. You're going to live longer, look younger, feel better. All those things happen in that order, but the gut's got to be good. And the problem is that most people in our supposed healthcare system do not put an emphasis on the importance of gut health and gut bacteria. And really and truly, it's really sickening because in my 22 years of clinical practice, we've been able to help people with so many problems physically, chemically, and neuroemotionally by identifying the problems of the gut bacteria and then correcting it. Well, now science is catching up with the applications of what we're doing. Scientists have identified 18 bacterial strains that are antibiotic resistant bacteria. And really in the fight against it, because now this is a global issue, is antibiotics, which have been massively overprescribed. I remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, hearing about antibiotic resistant bacteria and how that's going to become a problem in the very near future. Well, that future is now. And people are dying unnecessarily because they're being overprescribed antibiotics. And I will tell you, less than a decade ago, there was a huge push to educate doctors and providers on not prescribing so many antibiotics, especially for conditions like viral infections where antibiotics don't help at all. Also, things like ears, nose, and throat infections, which current research says that we should watch and wait those without giving antibiotics. And we now know that when you're given an antibiotic, it can destroy the normal gut bacteria, the normal gut microbiome in a human. For one dose can destroy it up to 12 to 18 months, which is a very serious problem. So in an attempt to fight against the antibiotic resistant bacteria, science is now thinking of additional ways to help deal with this. And looking at the gut microbiome has been their solution. We've been practicing that way as a natural doctor of medicine. My colleagues and I have been practicing this way for hundreds of years, right? Well, now mainstream medicine, allopathic medicine says, hey, looks like those guys and gals had something right. They found that they believe that recolonizing, listen to this, science now believes that recolonizing the gut with healthy microorganisms may be the key to reducing drug-resistant pathogen infections. However, these bacteria come with a very high problem of complexity. The study shows that millions of bacteria get out of balance when the human body isn't working proper, and that leads to these problems. So let's talk about this. What do we know about this? Well, we know that if your bacteria is off in the body, your body cannot work like it's supposed to. And truly what antibiotics do is they don't kill off the bad bacteria completely. What they do is they weaken that bacteria enough so that your immune system can come in and take over the rest. And that immune system, 90+% of that immune system is in your GI tract. So doesn't it make sense from a common sense standpoint that we should be focusing on the gut bacteria and the immune system and not just focusing on destroying bad bacteria? Well, now science is agreed with us. In A recent study published in Nature magazine, one of the most premier scientific magazines out there, the researchers examined dozens of bacterial strains from healthy donors, putting them against two E. coli strains that have been identified as drug resistant, that bacteria antibiotics don't work for. Well, guess what happens when they improve the bacteria, the healthy bacteria, and they actually get the body to expose it to lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, which, by the way, there are about 7 or 8 different microflora bacteria and fungi that are normally in the GI tract of healthy individuals, especially those that live in the blue zones of the world. Well, when we take that bacteria out of the system, because of living in an industrialized area, when you live in an area of an industrialized civilization, you're breathing in plastics, you're breathing in toxins, you're exposed to more heavy metals, you have more antibiotics in your water supply and in your food supply, and it destroys those 7 to 8 bacteria and fungi that are normally in the bacteria of healthy people that live in these blue zones, that live to be in their hundreds and are still productive members of society. Well, folks, we have the ability now through certain nutraceuticals to put those back in the system. I use a formula every day. It's the Master Microbiotic formula. That's a spore-based bacteria that has those 7 bacteria that I was just telling you that are deficient in individuals in industrialized regions, to help so that their own gut bacteria has the normal microflora to overcome symptoms, sicknesses, and ultimately diseases. They're saying that the future research of therapeutics is exciting because we now have a roadmap for the development of live biotherapeutic products. Folks, that's live cultured bacteria. That's what culture spore-based bacteria do. The Master Microbiotics and other spore-based bacteria, as long as they can get past the stomach acid into the small intestine, you don't have to do a fecal transplant. If you take a bacteria that dies up and in the digestive gastric juices, you have to use a fecal transplant. It's the only way to get those bacteria in the system. They're talking about the promising effects of fecal transplants are minimal with risk, but when we actually take spore-based bacteria, put it into a phytomicro encapsulated pill, and put it into a body, well, guess what? We can absorb those nutrients, and we've already proven that we can culture these bacteria in the stool. Well, what this research is trying to show you is what we've already done. This is one of the most, it's common sense of what they found, but it's going to take another 8 to 10 years before this gets put into play. You don't have to wait that long. You can simply start putting this into play now. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do in addition to taking the Master Microbiotic formula that will help you overcome and minimize your risk of susceptibility to these antibiotic resistant bacteria. Number one is having probiotic supplements, a spore-based probiotic that has the right bacteria that I just told you. I recommend the Master Microbiotic formula. We use that every day with our patients. I use it myself. But also eating foods that have fermented vegetables in them, yogurt, kefir, kombucha, kimchi. These are probiotic-rich foods. Number two, having colloidal silver or hydrolyzed silver in your diet. Known for its natural antimicrobial properties, a teaspoon a day or a half a tablespoon a day kills off the bad bacteria and keeps the good bacteria where it's supposed to be. Very powerful for ears, eyes, nose, throat, sinus, and digestive problems. Daily colloidal silver, very powerful. Number three, garlic. Garlic as an herb, garlic as a supplement, garlic as a food. Garlic is a very powerful natural antibiotic and immune system booster. And if you have garlic, it feeds the bacteria in the GI tract, feeds the good bacteria. So not only can it thwart off some of the bad bacteria, but it can feed the good bacteria in the body as well. Incorporating raw garlic and aged garlic into your diet. I keep garlic in my fridge and by my stove every day. I have at least a clove of garlic every day. I constantly have garlic smell. I apologize if my breath is a little garlicky. I always tell people, if you're appalled by it, you must be a vampire. So try to stop sucking the life away from people and eat some garlic. It's better for you. Number 4, Manuka honey. Manuka honey is a unique type of honey that's antimicrobial. I know physicians and naturopaths that use Manuka honey. I use Manuka honey on a regular basis with myself and with my patients. Some warm Manuka honey into some warm water with a squeeze of lemon. Oh man, it's a game changer for sore throats. It's amazing for an upset stomach. Manuka honey. You can also apply it topically to open wounds as a natural antibiotic. Number 5, oregano oil. Cooking and eating with oregano and supplementing with oregano oil regularly is a game changer. It's a natural antibiotic. It helps against bacterial, antibiotic resistant bacteria. And it can even be used topically on cuts and infections. Curcumin and turmeric, it's another herb that reduces inflammation. It inhibits the growth of certain antibiotic resistant bacteria. So if you are having these issues, even if you're not, you should be preventively having curcumin or turmeric in your system every day. It helps boost immune defense. Berberine. Berberine is an alkaloid found in things like golden seal or other nutrients, and it has a strong antimicrobial, and it also reduces blood sugar levels, which if blood sugar levels spike, your gut bacteria is going to weaken and your immune system is going to weaken. So berberine, very powerful for so many things, but it's amazing how it helps benefit the good microflora and destroys the bad microflora. Number 10, vitamin D optimization. Vitamin D is not even a vitamin, it's a prohormone, but having 10,000 to 20,000 IUs a day as an adult for vitamin D3 and having between 2,000 and 5,000 international units a day for a child of vitamin D3, very safe, very effective, very beneficial. Vitamin D also feeds the microbiome of the gut. So having vitamin D daily feeds the good bacteria. We want to feed that stuff. So does liposomal vitamin C. Liposomal vitamin C is a very strong immune booster, and it feeds the bacteria of the gut. So liposomal vitamin C, usually 3,000 milligrams for adults once to twice a day, and typically 1,000 once to twice a day for kids is a good place to start. Cranberry extract. This is a big one. Often used for urinary tract infections, because urinary tract infections are always caused by not enough good bacteria in the body. If you have good microbiome bacteria, the chance of you getting a UTI is almost next to nothing. But cranberry extract can prevent bacteria from adhering to the walls of the urinary tract, lowering the resistance for antibiotic resistant bacteria. And then last but not least is zinc. Zinc is one of the most powerful antiviral and antibiotic immune system boosters that are out there. Zinc, and I like zinc glycinate, or I like chelated forms of zinc, typically 25 to 50 milligrams a day for an adult, and anywhere between 10 to 15 milligrams a day for a kid. If the vitamin zinc upsets your stomach when you take it, you've got the wrong kind of zinc. I will tell you, if you have symptoms of colds and flus, taking 100 to 150 milligrams a day of zinc for 2 to 3 days is very beneficial. It helps the immune system boost, and it helps the good bacteria turn itself back on like it's supposed to. But I just need you to understand that it's a serious problem, and you can mitigate your risk of exposure to antibiotic resistant bacteria by not just avoiding antibiotic or the bacteria, but taking these nutrients, eating well, sleeping well, moving well, going outside and playing in the dirt, being barefoot outside in the grass, waking up and going and watching the sunrise, going for a 15-minute walk after you eat meals to lower your blood sugars, eating a high carnivore or a high ketogenic type diet, mitigating the risk of foods that you're sensitive to, knowing what your physiology functions at, having a DNA genetic test to know how to eat, sleep, supplement, knowing what your gut bacteria is functioning like, taking blood tests to know what your cellular function is. It's not difficult to get sick people well and keep healthy people healthy, but you gotta test. You can't guess. And that's what we're all about at Pep Talk. So here's what I want you to do. Go back, rewatch this podcast. Share it with your friends and family. Like, share, and subscribe to all of our social media channels. Tag us in social media. The truth will set you free, and little bitty tweaks can lead to huge peaks, but you got to know what action steps you need to take, because listen, the reality is this, is that the truth will set you free. We're going to give you the map, the keys, and the car, but you still got to drive this thing. So don't forget to visit our website. That's peptalk.world, peptalk.world. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends and folks. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless the world. Stay smart out there, and I'll see you next time. Be well.